In the shadows of Egypt's grand pyramids and sprawling temples lies a forgotten empire, a powerful rival, often overshadowed in history's grand narrative. A civilization that was not just a passive neighbor to Egypt but a fierce competitor, a conqueror, and a kingmaker. This is the story of the Kingdom of Kush, Egypt's long-lost rival. Today, most people recognize Egypt as the heart of ancient civilization, but few know the untold history of the Kushites, who ruled over vast territories, forged alliances, and even wore the crown of Egypt itself. From gold mines to royal conquests, Kush's influence on Egypt was undeniable, yet remains largely ignored in modern discussions. This video will uncover the mysteries of the Kingdom of Kush and explore how it rose to power, challenged Egypt, and left an indelible mark on history. So, sit back, grab your ancient scrolls, and let's unravel the incredible saga of the Kingdom of Kush. The birth of Kush. Kush's roots lie along the mighty Nile River, just south of Egypt. Unlike Egypt, whose history is often portrayed in grand monuments and iconic tombs, Kush was a land of resilience, strength, and mystery. Stretching across what is modern-day Sudan, Kush was known for its natural resources, especially gold and iron, which allowed its people to thrive and create a powerful state. But before Kush became an empire, it was home to several smaller kingdoms that were deeply influenced by their powerful neighbor to the north, Egypt. For centuries, the people of Kush maintained a delicate balance, learning from the Egyptians while developing their own unique culture and identity. As early as 2500 BC, the first signs of the Kingdom of Kush began to emerge. The region was known for its impressive archers, traders, and craftsmen. However, it wasn't until the rise of the Kingdom of Tassedi, around 1700 BC, that Kush began to distinguish itself from Egypt. The people of Tassedi were known for their fierce warriors, who often fought alongside or against Egypt. As Egypt's influence spread south, they came into frequent conflict with the Kushites. But rather than being simply a victim of Egyptian conquest, the Kushites often fought back, refusing to be absorbed into Egypt's sphere of influence. The Kingdom of Kush rises to power around the 8th century BC. A new dynasty emerged in Kush that would change the course of history. This dynasty, led by King Pi, would be the first of many Kushite rulers to make their mark on Egyptian soil. Pi's reign marked the beginning of the Kushite dynasty in Egypt, also known as the 25th dynasty. Pi wasn't just any king. He was a conqueror, a military strategist, and a visionary who united Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt under his rule. He marched from Kush, defeating Egyptian forces, and established himself as Pharaoh of Egypt. His reign was not only a testament to the power of Kush, but it also showcased the sophisticated political maneuvering that allowed the Kushites to take control of Egypt. Under Pi's successors, including Shabaka, Taharka, and Tantamani, the Kingdom of Kush would continue to dominate Egypt. The Kushites adopted many Egyptian customs and traditions, but they brought their own flair to the ancient world, blending Egyptian art and culture with their own unique style. This led to the creation of a truly distinct Kushite Egypt, one that was an amalgamation of both cultures, but at the same time, powerfully Kushite in its roots. Kushite pharaohs and Egypt's golden age. While Kush's influence over Egypt was brief, it left an enduring impact. The Kushite pharaohs oversaw a period of peace, prosperity, and religious revival. They were not simply foreign rulers. They saw themselves as protectors of Egyptian culture, temples, and traditions. King Taharka, in particular, became one of the most famous Kushite pharaohs. Under his reign, Egypt flourished. He was an ambitious king who not only expanded Egypt's borders but also oversaw the construction of temples and monuments throughout Egypt. His rule marked a renaissance of sorts, reviving the glory days of Egypt's ancient past. In fact, some historians argue that under the Kushite pharaohs, Egypt experienced its final golden age. But the power of the Kushite kings wasn't just in their military might. They were also wise statesmen and adept in diplomacy. They navigated complex political situations, balancing relationships with other African kingdoms and even distant empires in the Mediterranean. The decline of the Kushite Empire, unfortunately, the golden age of the Kushite dynasty did not last forever. The power of the Assyrian Empire in the Near East, led by Tiglath-Pileser III, began to encroach on Egypt's territory. The Assyrians, with their advanced military technology and brutal tactics, eventually drove the Kushites out of Egypt. The fall of the Kushite dynasty was a slow one, and it wasn't until the 7th century BC that the Assyrians finally pushed the Kushites back to their homeland, forcing them to retreat into the heart of Sudan. Despite this loss, the Kingdom of Kush remained a powerful entity, but without the ability to exert the same control over Egypt as they had during their peak. However, the Kushites did not abandon their cultural and political influence. They continued to rule the Kingdom of Kush from their capital, Napata, and later from Meroe. In fact, the Meroitic kingdom that followed the collapse of the 25th dynasty remained a significant power in the region for centuries, with a distinct culture that blended Egyptian traditions with their own. The lasting legacy of the Kingdom of Kush, though much of Kush's history was erased by time and conquest, their legacy is far from forgotten. The Kushites made incredible contributions to architecture, art, and culture. Their pyramids, albeit smaller than Egypt's, are a testament to their mastery of stonework and their reverence for the afterlife. The Meroitic script, which remains largely undeciphered to this day, offers a tantalizing glimpse into their sophisticated society. The Kingdom of Kush also left an important mark on religion. The Kushites continued many of the religious practices of Egypt, but they also introduced new deities and spiritual ideas that were uniquely Kushite. Their connection to the divine was deeply ingrained in their daily lives, from their elaborate burial customs to their sacred rituals. Even after the fall of the Meroitic kingdom in the 4th century AD, the echoes of Kush's influence continued to be felt. The Kingdom of Kush had not only shaped Egypt, but it had helped lay the foundation for later African civilizations, particularly those in the Nubian region. The Kingdom of Kush may have faded from the annals of popular history, but its significance is undeniable. It was a civilization that rose from the banks of the Nile, stood toe-to-toe with one of the most powerful empires of the ancient world, and left a legacy that is still being uncovered today. From conquerors to kings, from gold mines to pyramids, the story of the Kingdom of Kush is one of might, culture, and influence. The next time you think of ancient Egypt, remember there was another empire to the south, one that challenged Egypt's dominance, ruled its lands, and contributed to the legacy of African civilizations in ways that still resonate today. Kush wasn't just Egypt's forgotten rival. It was a kingdom that shaped the course of history, and its story deserves to be remembered. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts. Let's keep exploring the untold stories of the past together.